Let's really dig into something that's not just interesting. It's life-changing. The feeling of I am. Think for a second. What is it that remains with you no matter where you are, what you're doing, or how much time has passed? It's that basic, undeniable sense of awareness. You may forget the details of your life, like your name, your job, or where you're from. You might even lose track of how you've evolved or what your future holds. But deep down, at the very core, one thing never changes. This fundamental feeling of I am. It's the purest sense of being alive, of existing, and it's always present no matter what. Now let's expand that thought even further. The way you see yourself, your self-concept, literally defines the world you live in. That's not an exaggeration. It's a fact that most people don't even realize. Every little belief you have about yourself, the way you think, act, and feel, creates the reality you experience. If you see yourself as capable and strong, life will constantly reflect that back to you. You'll encounter challenges that prove your strength, opportunities that let you shine, and moments where your potential becomes undeniable. On the flip side, if you see yourself as unlucky, unworthy, or stuck, the world starts to confirm those beliefs too. Things seem to go wrong, setbacks feel more frequent, and you start to believe you just weren't meant for success or happiness. The world, as you know it, is essentially a mirror reflecting your own beliefs back at you. But all those beliefs, the good, the bad, and everything in between, stem from one thing: the feeling of I am. This isn't just a philosophical idea. It's a truth that governs your entire existence. Every thought, every experience, every emotion you've ever had can be traced back to your concept of you. Here's something that might really shake you up. You have the power to decide what comes after I am. Think about that for a moment. You are the architect of your identity. You get to decide who you are, and by extension, what your world looks like. Are you happy? Are you resilient? Are you full of potential? Or have you been telling yourself the opposite for far too long? Whatever it is you've been attaching to your I am, that's exactly what you're seeing in your life. It's like this. Imagine I am as the seed of a tree. Everything else, your personality, your skills, your relationships, your successes, your failures, are the branches and leaves. But it all comes back to that original seed. Without it, the tree doesn't exist. Without your core sense of I am, none of the things you believe about yourself would be possible. But here's where it gets really exciting. The seed can change. You have the power to redefine what you attach to I am. And when you do, everything else starts to shift with it. Suddenly, those branches of doubt, fear, or insecurity begin to fade, replaced by confidence, strength, and optimism. You're not stuck with the same identity forever. You can change it, and in doing so, you change the world you live in. So, here's a question that might just change the course of your life. What are you attaching to your I am right now? What beliefs, what feelings, what self-concepts are you carrying with you, day in and day out? Are they empowering you, or are they holding you back? And here's the more important question. What do you want to attach to your I am? What if you started thinking of yourself as limitless? What if you decided that you are worthy of all the happiness, success, and love in the world? Imagine this, waking up tomorrow, knowing deep down that your I am is filled with nothing but potential and possibility. How would your day look? How would your world change? Because the truth is, the moment you start to attach powerful, positive things to your I am, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. You control the narrative. You shape your reality. It all starts with those two simple words, I am. So what's your story going to be? Let's go even deeper and explore the concept that will completely change the way you see the world. Your consciousness is the only reality. Think about that for a second. Everything you've ever experienced, everything that has ever happened to you, was created by one thing, your own consciousness. Your mind is the cause, and your reality is the effect. Every single thing you encounter in your life is a reflection of what's happening inside your consciousness. It's almost like your life is a movie, and your consciousness is the scriptwriter, director, and producer all rolled into one. The things you believe, the truths you accept, the ideas you consent to, they're all organizing your mind in such a way that your external world must reflect them. You are shaping your life from the inside out, whether you realize it or not. Let's break this down further. Your consciousness isn't just some vague idea floating around. It's incredibly powerful, and it is constantly shaping your world. The beliefs you hold about yourself, about others, and about the world are like filters through which you experience life. What you believe to be true becomes true. If you believe you're destined for success, then you'll start to notice opportunities lining up for you. If you believe you're limited or unlucky, well, life will keep proving that belief right too. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. Health, wealth, beauty, genius. None of these things are created from thin air. They aren't given to some people and withheld from others. They are manifested through the arrangement of your mind. In other words, if you can believe it, if you can feel it in your consciousness, it will appear in your reality. It's already there, waiting for you to claim it. Let's take health, for example. Some people seem to have an almost magical ability to stay healthy no matter what, while others are constantly struggling with illness. Is this just luck or genetics? Maybe, but there's more to it. What if it's their consciousness, their deeply rooted belief in health, that's creating their experience of vitality? They expect to be healthy, and so they are. Their mind is arranged in such a way that health becomes a natural part of their life. The same is true for wealth. You may have heard the phrase, the rich get richer. And it's not just because they have more money. It's because their consciousness is aligned with the idea of abundance. Their minds are arranged to expect and attract wealth, while others may be stuck in a cycle of lack simply because they believe that's their reality. But here's the key. This isn't set in stone. You can rearrange your mind. You can change what you believe, and when you do, your experience of life will change with it. Think about beauty. Some people radiate beauty, and it's not always about conventional looks. It's something deeper, something almost unexplainable. That beauty is manifested through their consciousness. They feel beautiful, and that feeling shapes how others see them, how they move through the world, and how the world responds to them. And what about genius? You might think genius is something people are born with, something rare and unreachable. But what if genius is simply the result of a consciousness that's open to creativity, innovation, and brilliance? What if your own genius is just waiting to be unlocked by the beliefs you hold about your own intelligence and potential? Genius isn't created. It's uncovered. It's already within you, waiting for you to recognize it and allow it to manifest. Now let's take this to a more personal level. What truths have you accepted about yourself? What beliefs are you holding onto that are shaping your reality right now? Do you believe you're capable of achieving your dreams, or do you feel limited by circumstances, other people's opinions, or past failures? Your beliefs are arranging your mind, and your mind is arranging your life. Here's the incredible part. You have the power to rearrange your mind. You can choose new beliefs, new truths to accept, and when you do, the world will begin to mirror those new beliefs back to you. You're not stuck. You're not bound by what's happened in the past. Your consciousness is fluid, and so is your reality. What would happen if you decided today that you're worthy of health, wealth, beauty, and genius? What if you rearranged your mind to expect these things, to truly believe they are yours? How would your life change if you accepted, right now, that these things aren't distant dreams, but natural extensions of who you already are? Your consciousness is the cause substance of everything in your life. So the question becomes, what are you choosing to believe? What are you manifesting through the arrangement of your mind? You have the power to change your beliefs, and when you do, your entire reality will shift with them. The possibilities are endless, And it all starts with your consciousness. Let's talk about something that has the power to completely change your life. The power of assumption. Imagine this. Everything you've ever experienced, everything you're experiencing right now, and everything you will experience in the future is driven by one thing: your state of consciousness. It's like the master switch that controls how your life unfolds. If you want to change anything in your life, whether it's your relationships, career, health, or sense of self, it all starts with changing your state of consciousness. But here's where it gets really interesting. You can't just wait around for the outer world to change first. That's where most people get stuck. They think, when I get the job, I'll be happy, or when I meet the right person, I'll feel loved. But that's not how it works. If you want to see a real transformation in your life, the change has to begin within you. You have to shift your consciousness first, and the outer world will follow. And this isn't some distant or complicated process. It starts with one powerful spark, a burning desire for change. That's where it all begins. You have to really want it. It's not enough to casually wish for things to be different. You must feel a deep, driving passion for transformation. It's that intense desire that fuels the process of shifting your consciousness. Once you've got that fire lit, the next step is to create a crystal clear, ideal image of the person you want to be. Picture it in your mind. What does your best self look like? How does this version of you act? How do they speak, think, and feel? Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Get detailed. What kind of success? What kind of life? Imagine every aspect of this ideal self. The confidence, the joy, the achievements, the sense of purpose. Now here's the key. You must assume the feeling of already being that person. Not someday, not in the future, but right now. You have to feel what it would be like to already be living as that ideal version of yourself. This is where the real power of assumption comes in. When you assume a certain state of consciousness, you're telling the universe, this is who I am. And here's the magic. The universe will mirror that back to you. But it's not just about feeling it once and hoping things change. You have to live by faith in that assumption. You have to act, think, and believe as if you already are that person, even if your current circumstances don't reflect it yet. You have to trust the process. You have to have faith that the outer world will catch up with the inner transformation you've made. This isn't about pretending or forcing things. It's about genuinely shifting your state of being and letting the rest fall into place. Let's put this into a real-world scenario. Say you want to be a successful entrepreneur. It's not enough to just work hard and hope for success. You need to shift your consciousness to align with that identity. Imagine yourself as a thriving entrepreneur right now. How does it feel to run a successful business? What decisions do you make? How do you handle challenges? Assume that feeling of success and carry it with you as if it's already real. Then live from that state of being. Act, speak, and think like the person who already has what you desire, even if you don't see the results immediately. The outer world will start to shift to match your new state of consciousness. It has to. This is the power of assumption. When you truly believe in something, when you assume it to be true, your mind, body, and spirit begin to align with that reality, and everything around you will adjust to reflect it. But here's the most important part. You have to hold onto that assumption, even when doubt creeps in. Even when the outside world seems unchanged, or when challenges arise. You must continue to live by faith in the assumption that you already are the person you desire to be. The moment you start doubting or slipping back into old patterns of thinking, you begin to shift your consciousness away from the desired state. Faith is what keeps the transformation alive. Transformation is a process, but it starts in a single moment. The moment you choose to assume the feeling of your ideal self. That's where your true power lies. You don't have to wait for external circumstances to line up or for someone to give you permission to be who you want to be. You can assume that identity right now, in this very moment, and let your consciousness do the rest. So, Here's a question for you. Who do you want to be? And more importantly, are you ready to assume that you already are that person? Because the moment you do, the transformation begins. The world will shift to reflect your new state of consciousness, and you'll find yourself living the life you once only dreamed of. It all starts with one powerful assumption. Who will you assume yourself to be today? Desire, the real, burning desire that shaped your life. Now, desire isn't just about wanting something. It's the starting point for everything you achieve. But here's the catch. It's not enough to just want something. You have to completely believe in it. You have to affirm it as true about yourself. Because if you don't, it will forever remain out of reach. Think of it this way. Your attitude toward yourself is the foundation for everything. If deep down, you don't think you're capable of success, love, or happiness, then no matter how hard you try, those things won't fully manifest in your life. You have to believe in your own potential. You have to see yourself as the person who already possesses what you desire. If you don't affirm that truth within yourself, it simply won't become your reality. Here's where it gets really exciting. Abandon yourself to your ideal. Don't just wish for it. Immerse yourself in it. Become one with the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. Imagine what it feels like to have already achieved your desires. How would your life change? How would you act, think, and feel? Assume that feeling right now, as if your dream has already come true. When you abandon yourself to this ideal, something incredible happens. You stop seeing your desires as distant hopes or far-off dreams. You start to live in the state of being that aligns with what you want. And guess what? When you live in that state, the world around you starts to change to match it. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes your future dream a present fact. This is where you can truly transform yourself. If you want to reach a higher level of being, a better version of yourself, you need to have a higher concept of who you are. You can't keep thinking of yourself in the same limited way and expect to achieve your highest desires. You must upgrade your self-concept. You must see yourself as someone who is deserving of everything you desire. It all comes down to the power of your assumptions. If you assume you're limited, if you assume your dreams are too big, then you're putting up invisible walls around yourself. But if you assume that everything you want is within reach, if you assume that you are capable, worthy, and powerful, those walls disappear. Let's break this down with an example. Say you have a deep desire for financial freedom. It's not enough to just want it. You need to assume the feeling of already having it. How would it feel to wake up knowing that money is no longer a concern? How would you think, act, and carry yourself with that financial freedom already in place? Would you feel lighter, more confident, more secure? Would you start making decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity? Embrace that feeling. By assuming the feeling of financial freedom, you align your consciousness with abundance, and when you do that, your reality has no choice but to follow. The world will reflect back to you the new state of being you've assumed. But it's not just about money. It works with everything. Whether it's love, success, health, or personal growth, the principle remains the same. You must first adopt a higher concept of yourself, one that aligns with your desires. You can't attract something you don't believe you deserve. Here's where people often trip up. They think they need to wait until the external circumstances change before they can feel the way they want to feel. But that's backwards. You need to feel it first, assume it now, and the outer world will follow. When you live as if your desires are already fulfilled, the universe starts to arrange itself to match that energy. Your assumption creates your reality. So, here's a question for you. What is your highest desire? And more importantly, are you ready to assume that it's already yours? Because the moment you do, you'll start to live in alignment with that desire. You'll start to make decisions, take actions, and think thoughts that reflect the person who already has what they want. And in doing so, you transform your future dream into a present fact. The key to all of this is believing in yourself. You can't reach a higher level of being without having a higher concept of who you are. You are capable of more than you realize, but you have to first see yourself as capable. You have to abandon the old limited version of yourself and step into the new version that aligns with your desires. That's where true transformation begins. So, who do you want to be? And what's stopping you from assuming that identity right now? Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and your desires is the way you see yourself. Shift that perspective. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and watch as your life begins to transform before your eyes. Your future is waiting for you to claim it. The truth that sets you free. What if I told you that your assumptions shape your reality? Everything you experience, everything you attract, is influenced by the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world around you. The best part, you have the power to become the master of your assumptions, to take control of your life in ways you've never imagined. Let's break this down. Every single day, your mind is running on assumptions, whether you realize it or not. Some assumptions are positive, others negative, but they all act like filters through which you see and experience the world. Here's the game changer. You don't have to be a passive observer, accepting whatever assumptions come your way. You can consciously choose them. You can decide what you want to assume about your life, your capabilities, your future, and those chosen assumptions will start to shape your reality. But how do you do this? How do you take control of your assumptions and use them to create the life you truly want? The answer lies in two powerful tools: controlled imagination and sustained attention. These are your keys to unlocking the truth that will set you free. First, let's talk about controlled imagination. This isn't just about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about purposefully using your imagination to experience what you desire in vivid detail. Think of your imagination as a preview of what's possible. You can use it to create a mental picture of the life you want to live, down to the smallest detail. But it's not just about seeing it. It's about feeling it. You need to tap into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. How would it feel to already have what you desire? Would you feel joy, peace, excitement, or relief? Whatever the feeling is, you have to embody it in your imagination. Allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience as if it's happening right now. Your mind doesn't know the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. So when you imagine with feeling, you're planting the seeds for it to become your reality. Now let's talk about sustained attention. The second key. It's not enough to imagine your desires once and hope they magically show up. You have to maintain that experience in your imagination. You have to keep your attention focused on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This doesn't mean obsessing over it every minute of the day, but it does mean coming back to that feeling regularly, reinforcing it in your mind. When you sustain your attention on the desired outcome, you're aligning your consciousness with that reality. And when your consciousness aligns with something, it begins to manifest in your life. Here's where the magic happens. The truth that sets you free is this. You can experience in your imagination what you desire in reality, and by maintaining that experience in your mind, it will become an actuality. This is the most powerful realization you can have. You don't need to wait for circumstances to change before you feel the way you want to feel. You can feel it now. And by doing so, you're bringing your desires closer to you. Let's say you desire a new career, one that aligns with your passions and brings you a sense of fulfillment. You don't have to wait until you get that job to feel excited or empowered. Imagine yourself in that career right now. Picture yourself thriving, enjoying the work, feeling successful and energized. What does a day in this new life look like? More importantly, how does it feel? Capture that feeling and hold on to it. Every time doubt creeps in, return to that mental picture. The more you focus on it, the more you're telling your subconscious, "This is my reality." And soon, the outer world will reflect that inner assumption. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a powerful method for shaping your life. When you consistently focus on the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your subconscious mind begins to work on making that feeling a fact. Your mind and reality are deeply interconnected, and the thoughts and feelings you hold most often are the ones that materialize in your life. So, here's the question. What do you want to experience in reality? And more importantly, can you experience it right now in your imagination? Because the truth is, you already hold the power to make your desires a reality. You can start living the life of your dreams internally, and when you do, the external world will adjust to match it. Think of your imagination as the ultimate creative force. If you can experience something in your imagination with clarity and feeling, and if you can maintain that experience through focused attention, you're setting in motion the process that brings your desires into the physical world. This is the truth that sets you free. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You are not bound by past mistakes, by external limitations, or by what others believe. You are free to imagine and create the life you want. But remember, the key to freedom lies in your belief. You must believe that what you experience in imagination can become real. This isn't about hope. It's about certainty. When you live from a place of certainty, when you fully assume that your desires are already yours, nothing can stop them from becoming your reality. So, take a moment to ask yourself, what assumptions are you holding on to? Are they empowering you, or are they keeping you stuck? And if they're keeping you stuck, are you ready to change them? You have the power to control your assumptions, use your imagination, and focus your attention. The moment you accept this truth is the moment you set yourself free. What will you create in your imagination today? Attention. Your success, your growth, and your future all depend on one thing: where you focus your attention. It may sound simple, but the truth is, attention is the driving force behind everything you achieve. If you learn to control and focus it, you can shape your reality in any way you choose. Now think about this. Success comes from focusing your attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, without distractions. That's the key. It's not just about wanting something or setting a goal. It's about consistently focusing your mind on the feeling of already having what you desire. And here's the tricky part. You have to do this without letting anything distract you. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, social media, the news, or even your own doubts and fears. But if you allow these distractions to pull your attention away from your goals, you lose momentum. The real magic happens when you train your mind to stay focused, even when distractions are calling out for your attention. Let's take it one step further. Progress depends on increasing your attention and developing it as a habit. This isn't something you do once and forget about. To create lasting change in your life, you need to turn focused attention into a daily habit. Every day, make it a point to direct your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy toward the feeling of already having what you want. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your attention becomes. So, how do you make this happen? Your attention must be controlled and concentrated if you want to change your concept of yourself and shape your future. Think of attention like a spotlight. Wherever you shine that light is where your energy flows. If you're constantly focusing on your problems, your fears, or what's not working in your life, that's what will grow. But if you focus on the feeling of already having what you desire, that's where your energy will flow. And that's what will start to grow in your life. Here's an important part of this process. You have to walk in the assumption of the wish fulfilled with unwavering faith. It's not just about thinking it. It's about living it. You have to carry yourself as if your desire is already a reality, in the way you think, act, and feel. And you have to do it with complete faith, without letting doubt creep in. Faith is what keeps your attention strong. Without it, your focus can waver. And when your focus wavers, so does the power behind your assumption. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you have a desire for a new level of success in your career. Maybe you want a promotion, more recognition, or to start your own business. Now, instead of focusing on the obstacles, like the competition, the market, or your current situation, shift your attention entirely to the feeling of already having that success. What does it feel like to be in that higher position? To have that recognition? To run that business? Feel it deeply. Then live as if it's already true. Walk, talk, and act with the confidence and poise of someone who has already achieved their goal. Here's the thing. Your attention is the bridge between your desires and your reality. The more focused your attention is on the wish fulfilled, the faster that wish will manifest. But it's not enough to do this for a few minutes here and there. It requires dedication, focus, and a commitment to staying on course, even when distractions or doubts try to pull you off track. When you catch your mind wandering back to old habits or fears, gently bring it back to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Every time you redirect your attention, you're reinforcing the new reality you want to create. And over time, this focused attention will reshape your consciousness, which, in turn, will reshape your life. But the key to all of this is faith. You must have complete trust that what you are focusing on will become your reality. Even if the outside world hasn't caught up yet, even if things seem slow or difficult, you must maintain unwavering faith in your assumption. Doubt will try to sneak in, but you can't let it derail you. Faith is your anchor. It keeps you grounded in the belief that what you desire is already yours, even before you can see it. Let's talk about how to make this practical. Set aside time each day to focus your attention on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes, imagine your desire vividly, and tap into the emotion of already having it. Don't just picture it, feel it deeply. Do this consistently. The more you practice, the stronger your attention will become, and the more natural it will feel to live in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The truth is, your attention is your most valuable resource. It's what directs your energy, shapes your thoughts, and creates your reality. By learning to control and focus it, you unlock the ability to create the life you want. So, here's the question for you. What are you focusing your attention on? Are you directing it toward your desires, or are you letting distractions and doubts steal your focus? And if you're ready to take control, are you willing to make focused attention a daily habit? Because when you do, you'll find that you have the power to shape your future in ways you never thought possible. Walk in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, with unwavering faith, and watch as your focused attention transforms your life. In Chapter 8, we're diving into one of the most liberating ideas: renunciation. This isn't just about resisting negativity or unwanted experiences. It's about fully renouncing them by shifting your attention toward what you actually want to experience. You see, there's a big difference between resisting evil and renouncing it. Resisting keeps you focused on what you don't want, while renouncing moves your focus entirely toward the good you desire. Let's explore this a little deeper. When you try to resist something negative, whether it's fear, frustration, or even circumstances that seem out of your control, your attention is still on that negativity. It's like trying to push away a shadow. It won't go away because you're still shining your light on it. The more energy you give to resisting, the more power you're actually giving to what you don't want. That's where so many people get stuck. They think by fighting against something, they're solving it. But in reality, they're just feeding it with more attention. Here's where renunciation comes into play, and it's a complete game changer. Renunciation isn't about battling against negativity. It's about turning your attention away from it entirely. It's about focusing so fully on what you want that the negative simply fades away. Think of it like this. Instead of wrestling with the dark, you simply turn on the light. When you shift your focus to your desired outcomes, the things you don't want naturally lose their grip on you. Here's a key principle. You can't get rid of the negative by focusing on it. You get rid of it by replacing it with something better. This is where the idea of giving beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and praise for heaviness comes into play. These are powerful metaphors for transforming your experiences. Instead of focusing on the ashes, the things in your life that are broken or difficult, you focus on the beauty that you want to create from them. Instead of staying stuck in mourning over what's gone wrong, you shift your attention to the joy that's possible. Let's break it down practically. Imagine you're dealing with a difficult situation. Maybe it's a relationship that's falling apart, or a career that feels stagnant. Resisting the negative feelings, like frustration or sadness, won't change the situation. In fact, The more you dwell on those feelings, the more they grow. But if you renounce the negativity, not by fighting it, but by consciously choosing to focus on what you want instead, you open the door for transformation. What would the ideal outcome look like? How would you feel if things were going exactly the way you want them to? Focus on that feeling. Shift your attention fully to it. This isn't just about ignoring problems. It's about actively choosing a higher state of being. When you renounce the negative and focus on the positive, you're not denying the challenges in your life, but you're refusing to give them power. Instead, you're directing your energy toward creating something better. Here's a key truth. Whatever you focus your attention on grows. If you focus on the ashes, the mourning, or the heaviness, that's what will expand in your life. But if you focus on beauty, joy, and praise, you'll start to see those things blossom. You are the gardener of your own mind, and the seeds you plant, whether they're seeds of fear or seeds of hope, will determine the landscape of your life. But renunciation isn't just a one-time decision. It's a practice. It's a habit of consistently choosing to shift your attention away from what you don't want and onto what you do want. It's about training your mind to focus on the desired outcomes instead of the unwanted ones. And with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. Imagine this. You wake up feeling overwhelmed or stressed about a situation in your life. Instead of letting that feeling control your day, you stop and ask yourself, what do I want instead? Maybe it's peace, clarity, or a solution to the problem. Now, instead of resisting the stress, you shift your attention to the feeling of already having peace, clarity, or that solution. You give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and praise for heaviness. In doing so, you're not just wishing for change. You're actively creating it by aligning your mind with the outcome you desire. This is the power of renunciation. It frees you from the endless cycle of resistance and struggle, and it places you in a position of creative power. When you stop fighting against what you don't want and start focusing on what you do, your life begins to change in ways you never thought possible. So here's the big takeaway. Stop resisting and start renouncing. The next time you catch yourself dwelling on something negative, whether it's a situation, an emotion, or even a thought, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what do I want instead? Then give your full attention to that desire. Feel it as if it's already yours. And as you do, watch as the negative begins to lose its hold on you, and your desired outcomes start to take shape. In every situation, you have a choice. Will you focus on the ashes, or will you focus on the beauty that can come from them? Will you dwell on the mourning, or will you shift your attention to the joy that's waiting for you? Renounce the negative by choosing to direct your attention toward the positive. That's the real power you have. The power to transform your life by choosing where to focus your mind. So ask yourself, what are you focusing on today? And more importantly, what do you want to focus on instead? Because the moment you make that shift, you'll discover that you have the power to give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and praise for heaviness. Chapter 9. Preparing your place. Imagine this. Everything you desire, everything you could ever want, already exists. You don't need to create it. You just need to claim it. How? By imagining yourself already having it. Your thoughts and feelings are powerful, and when you imagine yourself as already being or having what you desire, you set things into motion. Picture yourself in your dream job, living in your dream house, or having that perfect relationship. Feel it in your imagination, as if it's happening right now. This is preparing your place. Where you've been in imagination, you'll eventually find yourself in reality. Your psychological forward motion, those thoughts of what you want, create your physical forward motion, leading you to your dream life. Chapter 10. Creation. Here's something mind-blowing. Creation is already finished. Everything you could ever want is already out there. Your job isn't to create it from scratch. It's to become aware of it. How? By using your imagination to feel as though you already have it. Think about this. If you assume you have a successful business, Your imagination will start aligning events and circumstances to bring that business into reality. It's not magic. It's the power of your mind and focus. When you believe it's already yours, life has a way of making it happen. Chapter 11. Interference. The power to shape your future is already within you. It's all about unlocking your imagination and attention. Imagine yourself as your ideal self. What do you look like? How do you feel? How does your life unfold? Then, stay attentive to this imagined state. Don't let doubts or distractions get in the way. When you focus and feel this reality deeply enough, it will manifest. The truth is, you hold the key to your own transformation. The more you embrace this power, the faster your desires will unfold in real life. Chapter 12. Subjective control. Your imagination is your most potent tool when combined with focused attention. If you want to change your future, you must take control of your attention and where you direct it. You don't just let your mind wander, you focus it on what you want to experience. By doing this, you take charge of your inner world, and the outer world follows suit. Shift your attention from doubt and fear to the feeling of your wish already being fulfilled. When you do this consistently, you'll notice changes in your life. Chapter 13. Acceptance. Here's something powerful. Your experiences arise from your imagination. It's not just the physical world that creates your reality. Your imagination plays a huge role. You can be anywhere in your imagination, even if you haven't physically been there yet. Want to travel the world or live a life of abundance? Be in imagination where you haven't been physically. Use your desire, your focused imagination, and your attention to live in that feeling. When you accept the power of your mind, you unlock limitless possibilities. Chapter 14. The effortless way. Ever heard of the principle of least action? It's the idea that the universe operates with minimum energy and minimum time to get things done. This applies to you too. When you use the power of assumption, it doesn't require hard effort. It just requires focus. Your desires already exist, and when you focus on them, they naturally manifest. The more you relax into this process, the more effortless it becomes. Let go of struggle and trust that your focused attention is enough to bring your desires to life. Chapter 15. The crown of mysteries. Your assumptions are like the crown that shapes your reality. Life unfolds based on what you assume to be true. If you assume success, happiness, and abundance, those things will show up in your life. The mystery lies in how effortless it is. Just by assuming your wish is fulfilled, you become the creator of your own destiny. Embrace this power within you, and watch as your life transforms without force or struggle. Chapter 16. Personal impotence. Here's the deal. You can't change the law of assumption. It's always working, whether you're aware of it or not. Your assumptions are shaping your reality, consciously or unconsciously. The key is to become aware and use this power consciously. Since your experiences are based on your assumptions, it only makes sense to assume the best, right? Yield to this law and start creating a reality that matches your highest desires. Chapter 17. All things are possible. No matter what it looks like on the outside, all things are possible when you align with your infinite being. Don't be fooled by appearances that deny your desires. Instead, live with confidence, knowing that everything you want is already within your reach. Merge with your higher self and rest in the assumption that you already are what you want to be. The moment you truly believe this, the possibilities are endless. Chapter 18. Be ye doers. You've heard it before. Repetition is the mother of mastery. It's not enough to know the truth. You have to live it. That's why it's important to repeat the basic truths over and over again, even if it feels repetitive. Your goal is not just to desire something, but to become it. The end of all yearning is to be what you desire. So commit to the practice of being, because once you are, everything else falls into place. Chapter 19. Essentials. There are 3 essentials to experiencing manifestation: intense desire, stillness, and imagination. To truly manifest, you need to quiet your mind and close off from the outside world. In stillness, focus on your imagination and feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. When you do this with intention and consistency, manifestation becomes effortless. Your focused attention and energy will shape your reality. Chapter 20. Righteousness. Righteousness is about already being what you want to be. It's the educative law of cause and effect in action. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the cause, and the effect naturally follows. Chapter 21. Free will. There's a bit of an illusion when it comes to free will. The real power lies in your ability to choose your assumptions. Once you select an idea or assumption, you must persist in it until it becomes your reality. Make sure your assumptions are the highest, noblest, and happiest ones possible. When you do, your thoughts and actions will align, and you'll find yourself living in harmony with your desires. Chapter 22. Persistence. Here's a big one. Persist in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Don't let doubt creep in. Just continue to live in the feeling of already having what you desire. Pray by giving thanks for already having it. Even when reality seems to say otherwise, persist in your assumption. Over time, you'll notice that your reality reshapes itself to match your desires. Chapter 23. Case histories. Real-life stories of how people's assumptions shape their reality. Proof that the power of assumption works. Chapter 24. Failure. If you're not seeing results, it's often because you're not fully embracing the feeling of already being what you desire. Progress depends on how natural that feeling becomes. Imagination is the key to moving forward. Chapter 25. Faith. Everything already exists, but faith is what brings it to you. Faith is not about hoping or wishing. It's about knowing that your assumed reality is true. Faith doesn't question. It simply knows that what you've assumed is real. Chapter 26. Destiny. There's not just one destiny for you. There are infinite destinies, and each time you reach one, it becomes the starting point for a new one. You're constantly creating and stepping into new possibilities. Chapter 27. Reverence. The more intense your feeling of reverence, the closer you are to the divine. When you feel this connection deeply, your life becomes richer and more fulfilling. Reverence opens the door to the highest experiences you can have. Each chapter offers powerful insights into how your assumptions and imagination shape your reality. By consistently practicing these principles, you'll notice profound changes in your life. Which of these resonates most with you? Imagine standing at the threshold of your dreams, feeling the weight of doubt lifting from your shoulders. Every assumption, every moment of focused attention, and every act of persistence brings you closer to the life you envision. Embrace the emotional intensity of your desires. Feel the joy, the excitement, and even the fear of stepping into the unknown. Allow yourself to dream boldly and believe fiercely. You are not just a passive observer in your life. You are the creator, the artist painting the canvas of your destiny with vibrant colors of possibility. As you reflect on these teachings, ask yourself, what do I truly want? Hold that desire close to your heart. Visualize it vividly and feel it as though it's already yours. Trust in your ability to shape your reality. Let the truth that you can imagine your desires into existence fill you with hope and determination. Your journey is just beginning, and the world is waiting for the unique magic only you can bring to it. So step forward with courage, embracing the belief that all things are possible. As you do, watch and wonder as your life unfolds in ways you never thought possible. You are powerful. You are deserving. You are capable of greatness. Now go forth, dreamer, and manifest your destiny.